We good? Think so. All right. Hopefully everyone's having a nice Wednesday. Been good weather today. We're gonna be talking NBA, talking NHL, and I'm doing an NHL tier list. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Tired. All right, so 6 games double yesterday. First game in the NBA. Raptors beating the Bucks 128-100. See, for the Bucks, Giannis had 22 points. Kyle Kuzma 18. Anthony with 12. And then for the Raptors, Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett both with 23 points. Emmanuel Quickly and Sandro Mamulashvili with 15. Definitely misspelled. I definitely pronounced his name wrong. Grady Dick with 14. And then Brandon Ingram with 13. Yeah, good win there for Raptors. Next, we got the New Orleans Pelicans getting their first win over the Charlotte Hornets, 116-112. For the Hornets, Miles Bridges with 22 points. Colin Knueppel with 20 points, 12 rebounds. Colin Sexton with 17 points. Trey Mann with 18. Ryan Kalkbrenner with 10 points, 11 rebounds. Then for the Pelicans, Trey Murphy with 21 points. Jose Alvarado with 18. Sadiq Bey with 17. Derek Queen with 12. Jordan Poole with 11. Herbert Jones with 11. Yeah, the Pelicans get their first one on the board on the season. Next up, we got the Atlanta Hawks beating the Orlando Magic 127-112. See, for the Magic, Paulo Banchero with 22 points, 11 rebounds. Tristan Da Silva with 20 points. Franz Wagner with 18. And for the Hawks, Zachary Ricochet with 21 points. Nikhil Alexander-Walker with 20 points. Dyson Daniels with 18. Jalen Johnson with 17. Kristaps Porzingis with 15. Onyeka Okongwu with 14. Next up, we got the Chicago Bulls beating the Philadelphia 76ers 113-111. For the Sixers, Tyrese Maxey with 39 points. Joel Embiid with 20 points. Kelly Oubre Jr. with 18. Feature Edgecombe with 12 points, 11 rebounds, double-double for him. Then for the Bulls, we got Josh Giddey with a triple-double, 29 points, 12 assists, 15 rebounds. Nikola Vucevic with 19 points, 10 rebounds. Isaac Okoro with 16 points. Jalen Smith with 14. And Bulls, I mean, these are two teams that have been surprisingly been playing really, really well. Bulls, 6 wins in 7 games. No joke intended. Next up, we got the Golden State Warriors beating the Phoenix Suns 118-107. For the Suns, Devin Booker with 38 points. Mark Williams with 16 points, 16 rebounds. Grayson Allen with 16 points. And for the Warriors, Steph Curry with 28 points. Moses Moody with 24. Yeah. And finally, the Oklahoma City Thunder remained undefeated at 8-0 as they beat the Los Angeles Clippers 126-107. See, for the Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 30 points, 12 assists. Isaiah Joe with 22 points. Kason Wallace and Aaron Wiggins with 12. Chet Holmgren with 11. And then for the Clippers, James Harden with 25 points. John Collins with 17 points. Derrick Jones Jr. with 16. I mean the Thunder. I mean, they look unbeatable once again. So, yeah. And then in terms of the basketball games tonight, 76ers and Cavaliers. The Jazz versus my Pistons. Then we got Nets versus Pacers. Wizards versus Celtics. Timberwolves versus Knicks. Rockets versus Grizzlies. Pelicans versus Mavericks. Heat versus Nuggets, Warriors versus Kings, Spurs versus Lakers, and then the Thunder versus the Trailblazers. So, yeah, there you go. That's the NBA. Now I got to talk about NHL from yesterday. First game we got to talk about is the Boston Bruins beating the New York Islanders 4-3 in the shootout. So for the Bruins, Pavel Zacha with a goal, Viktor Arvidsson with a goal. Kuznetsov with a goal as well. And for the Islanders, Anthony Duclair with a goal. Bo Horvat with 2 goals. So yeah, I mean, Bruins win the shootout there. Next, so we got the Utah Mammoth beating the Buffalo Sabres in overtime, 2-1. For the Mammoth, Nick Schmaltz with the goal, and Clayton Keller with the goal in overtime, as well as an assist. And for the Sabres, the only goal being Noah Osland. Yeah, another very good win there for the Mammoth. Next, we got the Philadelphia Flyers beating the Montreal Canadiens 5-4 in the shootout. See, for the Flyers, Greg Beckin with a goal, Bobby Brink with 2 goals, Cam York with a goal and assist. Then for the Canadiens, Nick Suzuki with a goal, Ivan Demidov with a goal and assist, Kirby Doc with 2 goals, Lane Hudson with 2 assists. Uh-oh. Spilled a little bit of water. Whatever. Yeah, big win there for the Flyers. Yeah, I'll just grab some paper towels real quick. Actually, no, I'll just grab them. Nah, it's fine. It'll dry up soon. Not worried about it. Anyway, next up we got the Carolina Hurricanes beating New York Rangers 3-0. I see for the Hurricanes, Nikola Ehlers with a goal, his first goal for the Hurricanes. Seth Jarvis with a goal, Sean Walker with a goal and assist. Obviously, Rangers didn't score a goal. Next up, we got the Dallas Stars beating the Edmonton Oilers in the shootout, 4-3. For the Oilers, Jack Roslovic with 2 assists. Connor McDavid with a goal and assist. Leon Draisaitl with a goal. Vasily Podkolzin with a goal. Then for the Stars, Mikko Rantanen 2 goals and assist. I think he had, that's like his 300th. Or I don't even. It's like, I know he had like a milestone or something. I forgot what it was. Or actually, was it like? I completely forgot. I know he hit some kind of milestone. But yeah, 2 goals and assists for him. Wyatt Johnson with 3 assists. Mira Heiskanen with a goal. Next up, we got the Wild beating the Predators 3-2 in overtime. See, for Nashville, Matthew Wood with the goal. Steven Stamkos with a goal. Then for the Wild, Marcus Johansson with a goal and assist. Kirill Kaprizov with a goal and assist. And then Boom with a goal as well. Alright, next up we got the Colorado Avalanche beating the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-2. See, for the Lightning, goals from Nikita Kucherov and Braden Point. And for the Avalanche, Victor Olofsson with 2 goals and Ross Cole with a goal as well. Yeah, big winner for the Avalanche. Next up, we got the Golden Knights beating my Detroit Red Wings 1-0. The only goal in that game being Ivan Barbashev. So yeah, not much action happened in that game. Next up, we got the Anaheim Ducks beating the Florida Panthers 7-3. For the Panthers, E2 Lucerinen with a goal, Evan Rodriguez with a goal and assist, Brad Marchand with a goal. And for the Ducks, Chris Kreier with the goal, Cutter Gauthier with a hat trick and 1 assist. So he's been on fire. Leo Carlson with 2 assists, Jacob Trouba with a goal, Nikita Nestorenko with a goal. I mean, yeah, the Ducks have been on a heater. And finally, we got the Los Angeles Kings beating the Winnipeg Jets 3-0. Obviously, no goals for the Jets. For the Kings, Karen Fiala with a goal, Adrian Kempe with a goal, and Drew Doughty with a goal. All for the Kings. So yeah, that's yesterday's games. In terms of hockey games today, we got Mammoth and Maple Leafs, Blues and Capitals, Blue Jackets and Flames, Sharks and Kraken, and then Blackhawks and the Canucks. So yeah, there you go. That's going over NHL from yesterday. Now I got to do the NHL tier list. right, let's get right into this. So first team we got is the Philadelphia Flyers. So they lost to the Maple Leafs. They lost to the Flames, but then they did beat the Canadiens. And they also beat the Nashville Predators as well. Flyers, they obviously they went 2-2. They haven't been that bad. It feels like they've been pretty good at times. Especially beating the Canadiens yesterday. It's definitely a good win for them. It's just losing to the Flames, not a good look. I still probably put them B tier because they've been a good team. They've been a little bit inconsistent, but overall they've looked like a pretty just good team so far. A little less than a month into the season. Next up, we got the Carolina Hurricanes. They obviously, they destroyed the Islanders. They then lost to the Bruins, and then they shot out the Rangers. So not a lot of games, not a whole lot of games there for the Hurricanes, but again, winning over both New York teams, losing to the Bruins is not the best, but I still put the Hurricanes in A tier. I still think they're gonna be, I still think they're gonna be fine. There's really not too many worries there. They're still winning games. But yeah. Let's see. Next up, we got the Minnesota Wild. Yeah, they obviously lost to the Penguins, but then they've won back-to-back games against the Canucks and the Predators. The Wild, I don't know. They've played like such a they've been so mediocre this year. I just have to put them right in the C tier. Again, it's just Kirill Kaprizov's a baller. I'll say that, but really outside of him, and the rest of the team just So yeah, I think C tier for the Wild for now. Excuse me, by the way. Let's see. Next up, we got is the Colorado Avalanche. Let's see. Yeah, they beat the Golden Knights. They lost in overtime to the Sharks, but then they beat the Lightning. I don't know how you beat the Golden Knights and Lightning, but then you lose to the Sharks. That really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But anyway, they only have one regulation loss in 14 games. They have 5 overtime losses, but they do have 8 wins. And they're the only team over 20 points. So you kind of have to just leave them in that C for now. When you're the only team in the league so far that has over 20 points in when you're only team that has over 20 points at this point in the season, I think you kind of have to be S tier. The top of the league would not make any sense if you put them any lower than that. Let's see. Next up, we got is the Winnipeg Jets. Let's see. They beat the Blackhawks. They beat the Penguins, and then they got shot out by the Kings. They're still second in the Central, obviously behind the Avalanche. They have 9 wins in 13 games. The Jets, I think I put them in S tier. I think I had them in S tier as well last week. No reason for them to be moving down. They're still playing like one of the best teams in hockey. That just seems fair. Next up, we got the Edmonton Oilers. See, they lost to the Rangers. They beat the Blackhawks. They lost to the Blues, and then they lost in overtime. Then the shootout to the Stars. So yeah, not the best of weeks there for the Oilers. I guess I'll probably just still leave them in C tier. Losing 3 games out losing 3 games out of 4. Not the best of looks. I know I keep saying that, but I mean it's true. For a team like the Oilers, they should be playing a little bit better than they are. That's why I just have to put them C tier. They've been a tiny bit disappointing so far. Let's see. Next up, we got the Pittsburgh Penguins. Let's see. They beat the Wild, lost to the Jets, lost to the Maple Leafs. They beat. I guess like they did lose the 2 good teams. They lost to 2 good teams. They beat the mediocre team. The Penguins. I think you probably just leave them in A tier. They could have a possibility of moving down to B tier. But they're still second. Still second in the division. I think A tier is fine for them. See, next up we got the Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah, they obviously lost to the Avalanche. And then they beat the Red Wings. Wow, they only played 2 games this past week. Wow, they only played 2 games between the last time between last week's power rankings and today. Not a lot to go on. I guess I'll probably still leave them in S tier. Yeah, they only played 2 games this past week, so really not much information to collect here. Yeah, I think you probably just leave them in S tier. But yeah. See, next up we got is the San Jose Sharks. You obviously they beat the Devils. They beat the Avalanche in overtime, and then they lost to the Red Wings in a shootout. So a pretty good stretch of games here for the Sharks. Not too bad there for San Jose. I guess I'll probably put them in D tier. They finally moved. I think this week at least they've moved up to D tier. But they're still not a good team. But I guess for this week they just turned up a little. They turned up a little bit. But yeah, they're nothing higher than D tier though. At least not yet. If they keep playing like they did, I guess they could have an argument. But for now, yeah, just leave them right there. Let's see. Next up, we got is the Devils, who obviously, like I said, they got destroyed by the Sharks. They beat the Kings, and then they lost to the Ducks. See, not a pretty pretty meh week for the Devils. Do I put them A tier? I guess I'll put them A tier. Compared to the 3 teams at the top, I don't think they've played as well as those teams at the top. But I had them S tier this past last week. But I think this week they slightly downgrade. So I think probably just leave them straight. I'll probably just leave them in A tier. Next up we got is the Calgary Flames, who obviously lost. They lost to the Senators, they lost to the Predators, and then they beat the Flyers. The Flames they're the only team now in the league with single digit points. So for that they gotta be F tier. They still have played like the worst team in hockey. And like I said, only team in the NHL with single digit points. Gotta go F tier for sure. Let's see. Next up, we got the Chicago Blackhawks. Who they got crushed by the Jets, lost to Oilers in overtime, and lost to the Kraken. So yeah, it's been a little bad run there for the Blackhawks. I mean, obviously, I mean, they were playing like a B tier team, but now I think it probably to drop them to like C. Based off, them losing 3 games in a row, you have to drop at that point. Yeah, pretty much falling down from Earth, falling down to Earth with them. Let's see. Next up, we got the Nashville Predators. Let's see. They lost to the Flyers. They beat the Flames, lost to the Canucks, and lost to the Wild. So so the only win they got was to the worst team. Yeah, Predators, Nashville Predators gotta go in C tier. I mean, when your only win, in 4 games is against the worst team in hockey, that's really not saying too much. So yeah, actually, Nah, I'm putting them in D tier actually. Yeah, I'm sliding them right into D tier. I don't think they have not really played that great, to be honest. Let's see. Next up, we got is the Anaheim Ducks, who have been on fire. They destroyed the Red Wings, they destroyed the Devils, and they destroyed the Panthers. So each one they have about a 4-game win streak, and each of their wins have been blowouts. So I gotta put them in S tier. Crazy to say. Who would ever thought that the Anaheim Ducks would be an S tier team? But I mean, I don't know how you don't put them in S tier. They've played like an S tier team. Like within this week, they've beat 3 potential. They literally beat 3 potential playoff teams. And they won in convincing fashion in each of those games. So I mean, I think you almost have to put them in S tier. Being a up and coming Red Wings team in blowout fashion, being a playoff team in the Devils in blowout fashion, and being back to back Stanley Cup champions. I know injuries with dominant fashion, S tier, gotta be, for sure. Anyway, next up we got is the Vancouver Canucks. Yeah, they beat the Blues, lost to the Wild, but then they beat the Predators. Again, just a very up and down. The Canucks have literally been the most bang average team. So, when you're bang average, you put them right at C tier. 7 wins, 7 losses, 0 overtime losses. Again, that's peak mediocrity for them. You can't get more mediocre than that. See, next up we got the Boston Bruins, who let's see. Yeah, they beat the Sabres in overtime. They beat the Hurricanes, and they beat the Islanders in a shootout. So it seems like the Bruins are starting to gain traction here. Despite their little struggle to start, put them in B tier. Yeah, 3 games in a row they've won. It's looking pretty good for them. All right. See, next up we got is the Buffalo Sabres. Yeah, they lost to the Bruins. They beat the Capitals in a shootout, and they lost to the Mammoth in overtime. All those went to at least overtime games, eh? Yeah, so the Sabres, at least they gained at least 1 point in each of those games. I guess I'll probably put the Sabres probably. Do I put them like B or C tier? I guess I'll probably put them C tier. But like I could see an argument. I could see an argument for B tier. But I'm just gonna leave them in C tier for now. Yeah. See, next up we got is the St. Louis Blues. See, yeah, they beat the Canucks in a shootout. I mean, they lost the Canucks in a shootout. They lost the Blue Jackets, and then they beat the Oilers. You see, the Blues, they only have 10 points. I'd probably just still leave them in F tier. they're still not playing like a good team though. They have the second lowest points in the league. Yeah, you probably just have to leave them in F tier for now. They could move up to D tier at some point, but probably not now. Anyway, let's see. Next up, we got the Columbus Blue Jackets. Let's see, they beat the Maple Leafs. Actually, well, yeah, they beat the Maple Leafs. They beat the Blues, and they lost to the Islanders. So again, like a pretty average, like pretty decent, good, performances. Put them right in the B tier. Really can't complain about the Blue Jackets' performances. They could have won that game against the Islanders. I know they blew that game. They gave 2 goals in within the last minute of the game. But yeah, Blue Jackets have not been that bad though. Let's see. All right, next up we got the Dallas Stars. They lost to the Lightning. They lost to the Panthers, and then they beat the Oilers in a shootout. So I guess I'll probably just put the Stars probably. Yeah, I'll probably put the Stars right there at B tier. Actually, I'm gonna move the Blue Jackets down to C tier. Yeah, I think C tier for the Blue Jackets. I think it's fair. Yeah, B tier for the Stars. Yeah, I think it's fair. All right, next up we got is the Washington Capitals. Let's see, they lost to the Islanders and lost to the Sabres. Again, only playing 2 games this week, but they're on a 4-game losing streak. Just trying to think here. I'm gonna put the Capitals in C tier. Yeah, I'm putting the Capitals straight into C tier. Actually, do you think I should move I might move the Blackhawks down to D tier. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna move the Blackhawks down to D tier because I think Capitals in C tier makes a lot of sense. Actually, I think I might be being a little harsh on the Oilers. I'll probably put the Oilers in B tier, but it's they're gonna be very back at B tier though. Just making some adjustments here. Yeah, I think this makes a lot more sense here. All right, there you go. Next up, we got the Tampa Bay Lightning, who beat the Stars in overtime, beat the Mammoth, and then they lost to the Avalanche. I guess winning 2 games out of 3, only loss being to the best team in the NHL so far. Really can't complain. Probably have to put the Lightning in B tier. I think it just seems fair. I mean, compared to the start they had, I literally had them in F tier at one point. So considering that they're now in B tier, they've definitely made quite a bit of improvement there. Next up, we got is the Detroit Red Wings. They lost the they beat the Kings, then in a shootout, then lost to the Ducks. They beat the Sharks in a shootout, and then they got shut out by the Golden Knights. So again, pretty up and down week for the Red Wings. They're still second in the division. So yeah, I'll probably just put them in A tier. Actually, you know what? I'm moving the Devils to S tier. Actually, I think after looking at it, I don't think the Red Wings and the Devils should be in the same tier. Yeah, I think. Yeah, Red Wings in A tier. I think that's a perfect spot for them. They're not. They're definitely not S tier. Like at least at the moment. But I think A tier is pretty comfortable for where they're at right now. All right, let's see. Next up we got is the Florida Panthers. They let's see. Yeah, they beat they beat the Stars in a shootout, and then they lost. They got crushed by the Ducks. Again, and the Panthers are actually surprisingly in last place in the division. So yeah, it's been a struggle for the Panthers. I mean, again, the injuries have not helped at all. But I guess like they just again, I think they've taken a huge beating after the past couple of years. I think playing all those games. I think this is the year where they finally that's finally caught off to them. You just gotta put them in C tier. Yeah, it's just it's pretty unfortunate what's happening to them this season, but it was bound to happen at some point. So not really much else you can do there. Let's see. Next up, we got is Montreal Canadiens. They beat the Senators in overtime, and then they lost to the Flyers in a shootout. I mean, the Canadiens, the Canadiens have definitely been they've definitely been they've been pulling out wins straight up. In overtime they feels like anytime they goes to overtime they're nearly guaranteed to win, except yesterday's game against the Flyers. But the Canadiens gotta stay in S tier. I don't know how you can take them out of S tier. They're still, I think they have the second most points in the NHL. Yeah, they have the second most points in the NHL. I don't see a reason why you would take them out of S tier for now. One loss isn't going to define them at all. Next up, I got the Ottawa Senators, who beat the Flames, and then they lost the Canadiens in overtime. Again, kind of like the same situation. I guess at least the Senators got a point from the Canadiens game. I guess you probably just put them right in the B tier. Again, they've been decent, nothing too shabby there. They've pretty much been them and the Lightning have the same exact record. So yeah, really no yeah. Anyway, let's see. We got 6 more teams to go here. Next up, we got is the New York Islanders. They beat. Let's see. They beat the. They got crushed by the Hurricanes. They beat the Capitals. They beat the Blue Jackets, and then they lost in shootout to the Bruins. Again, we have a lot. We already have a lot of teams in C tier. But again, the Islanders just gotta go C tier. Again, we have a lot of teams in this area right here. How many teams we have? 6, 9, 13 teams that are in C tier. We have 13 teams between B and C tier. But again, the Islanders, they just feel like such an average team, bro. They just feel like such an average team. Every single year, they're always just so average. It's painful how average they are. Let's see. Next up, we got the New York Rangers. They beat the Oilers in overtime. They beat the Kraken in overtime, and then they got shut out by the Hurricanes. Yeah, I mean, it's the same situation. It's the same story with the Rangers. Like they win the games on the road, but then they can't ever win games at home. Like they have not won a single game at home this year. Like that's insane to me. That's actually like insane to me that they have not won a single home game. It feels like we have way too many teams in C tier. I'm trying to think here. Dude, I might have to put the Rangers in D tier. Yeah, I'm gonna put the Rangers in. I mean, they did win 2 games this week though. You know, here's what I might do. Thing is, the Blue Jackets in B tier would just. I don't think that really make that much sense. You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna put the Rangers in C tier because again they did win 2 games this week, but again they can't ever win a game at home. They just can't win a home game this year. You know, I'm actually thinking about putting the Sabres in. I'm gonna put the Sabres in B tier. Yeah, I'm gonna put the Sabres in B tier. Actually, I know we got 4 more teams to go here, but I got to use the bathroom real quick, so we'll be right back. We're back. All right, here we go. We have 4 more teams to go here. Next up, we got is the Los Angeles Kings. Yeah, they lost to the Red Wings in the shootout. They lost to the Devils, and then they shut out the Jets. So yeah, I mean they lose. I mean all their opponents they played against this week were all like I have them all in top tier. So pretty tough, stretch of games there. I feel like and one isn't too bad. I guess I'll probably put them B tier. But yeah. Yeah, not too bad there for the Kings. All right, here we go. See, next up we got the Seattle Kraken. Lost in overtime to the Canadians. Lost in overtime to the Rangers, and then they beat the Blackhawks. Yeah, Kraken, they only have 1 less point than the Golden Knights and Ducks. I mean, I guess I probably put the Kraken in A tier. Feels like they've been playing pretty well this year. Not too shabby. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the Kraken. I feel they're gonna be a pretty good team for the rest of the year. Let's see. Next up, we got to see Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah, they lost to the Blue Jackets. Yeah, beat the Flyers, and then they beat the Penguins. So yeah, they've won 2 games in a row. See, they have 1 less point than the Bruins, but they have 2 games in hand, and the record's better. So I mean, I guess I put the Maple Leafs in A tier. It feels like the Maple Leafs have. Actually, do I put them? Maybe overreacting a little bit here. I guess it could also be based off like performance as well. Yeah, I'm leaving the Maple Leafs in A tier. I think I just gotta stick to it. I just gotta stick to the Maple Leafs in A tier. All right, last team we got here is the Utah Mammoth. Yeah, let's see, they only played two. They beat the. They lost to the Lightning and then they beat the Sabres in overtime. The Mammoth, I guess I'll probably just put them S tier still. I mean, they're still tied for third most in points. I mean, I guess same with the Penguins and the Red Wings. But I think the Mammoth have been slightly better than the Penguins and the Red Wings, so I think I probably just have to leave them in S tier. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, there you go. We're like a little less than a month into the season, and these are power rankings. Lots of teams here in B and C tier. Not a lot of teams down here. It seems like this year, like the teams are actually like really competitive. It really seems like this year, like when there's not a lot of teams down here, you know, like the competitiveness of the league is like pretty high this year. Like a lot of these teams are pretty good. Anyway, let's see. Let's readjust by tiers. Flames, they're still the worst team in the league, so I'm not changing that. Blues probably right there. D tier, I guess I'll probably just leave the Sharks there. Between the Predators and I guess I'll probably put the Predators ahead of the Blackhawks. But yeah. Now in C tier is where it's gonna get a little bit chaotic here in C tier. But I think I'm gonna put Minnesota back there, then Florida, then I think Washington, then the Rangers, then probably I'll probably put the Blue Jackets out in front, then the Islanders, and then the Canucks. Yeah, I think that just seems fair. Then in terms of B tier, I probably put the Sabres towards the back, then the Senators, then the Kings, then probably the Bruins. I guess I'll probably put the Stars, and then the Oilers. Now, between the Flyers and the Lightning, I probably put the Flyers ahead of the Lightning. Voice crack. Yeah. And then in terms of A tier, I think I'll probably I think the Maple Leafs probably go towards the back of A tier, and probably the Kraken. I'll probably put the Red Wings ahead of the Penguins, and then the Hurricanes go out in front. Then in terms of S tier, I'll probably go. I think even though the Ducks and the Golden Knights both have the same points, but I think I like the Golden Knights slightly better, so I'm gonna put the Golden Knights ahead of the Ducks. I think these are probably the top 5 teams in the league. I guess I'll probably go Mammoth. I'll go Mammoth, then Devils. Then between the Jets and the Canadians, I think I like the Jets slightly more, so I'm going to put the Jets ahead of the Canadians, and then at number 1, I have the Avalanche. I think the Avalanche are the best team in the NHL so far. So yeah, this is my official power ranking. What day is it today? November 5th. Yeah. Let's see if any of this changes by next Wednesday. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of the stream. So we talked NBA, we talked NHL, and then we did an NHL tier list / power rankings. So yeah, follow me on all socials, subscribe to the YouTube, follow me on TikTok and Instagram, follow me on Twitch. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya.